Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Today we have another very interesting topic lined up for you. Today we will talk about Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, its history, theory, how it works, and finally, some tips for practicing REBT. What is Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy? Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy is a form of psychotherapy that helps you identify self-defeating thoughts and feelings, challenge the nature of irrational and unproductive feelings, and replace them with healthier, more productive beliefs. What is the history and theory behind REBT? Albert Ellis developed Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, REBT, a brief, direct, and solution-oriented therapy which focuses on resolving specific problems facing a troubled individual. REBT is the first form of cognitive behavior therapy first set forth by Ellis in 1953. Fundamental to REBT is the concept that our emotions result solely from our beliefs, not by the events that occur in our lives. Therefore, it is of utmost importance for our beliefs to be healthy and rational because the consequences of these beliefs will be emotional growth and happiness. If our beliefs are irrational and self-defeating, our emotional life suffers from neuroses such as self-blame, depression, and anxiety. REBT is an educational process in which the therapist or coach teaches the client how to identify irrational beliefs, dispute them, and replace them with rational ones. Once the client is equipped with healthy beliefs, emotional difficulties, and problematic behavior are abated. REBT posits that human beings are born with the dual potentials for both healthy and unhealthy thought processes. The healthy process rational thinking and the unhealthy variety irrational thinking. Rational thinking, as would be expected, means objectively seeing things as they really are, whereas irrational thinking distorts reality by misinterpreting things that happen. In REBT thought, irrational beliefs are the cause of human neuroses, including depression and anxiety. Irrational beliefs tend to ignore the positive, exaggerate the negative, distort reality, and/or overgeneralize. REBT teaches that unconditional self-acceptance is of prime importance in achieving wellness. Healthy people know that they are not perfect and will continue to make mistakes, but see themselves as worthwhile nevertheless. Now let's talk about how REBT works. Step 1. Identifying irrational thoughts and beliefs. The first thing one needs to do with the help of their therapist or coach is to identify those thought patterns and beliefs that are potentially harmful to their mental state. These are very often formulated as absolutes, starting with I must not, or I cannot. Thoughts that are absolute like this are quite harmful because they do not allow for any variation in performance. It is either acceptable or not. Step 2. Challenging the irrational thoughts. After having identified the irrational thoughts and understanding that they are mistaken, one needs to challenge them, which is the next step toward changing them and not letting them interfere in the future. Challenging faulty beliefs should not be done gently and supportively, but honestly and bluntly. This is the push one needs at this moment, and it will direct them to the right path. Step 3. Changing. Accepting one's beliefs as unhealthy, especially after they have been a part of one's mindset for years and even decades, is not as simple as it may sound. But a difficult step is yet to come. The soul change, when its time comes, seems extremely hard to achieve. The path is full of hardships. It can leave you feeling upset, maybe even thinking that it is impossible to succeed. It is normal to feel upset when one makes a mistake. Taking it too emotionally may prove to be very harmful. Now at last let's discuss some tips for practicing some of the easier parts of REBT on your own. Number 1. Imagine the worst. Catastrophizing involves worst-case thinking and can be an extremely common cognitive distortion. Imagine the worst can be used when a client is attempting to avoid thinking about worst possible scenarios for fear of becoming even more anxious. In this exercise, they face that fear by envisioning it. Number 2. Blown out of all proportion. This technique involves both imagery and humor, combining two of the cognitive restructuring techniques for maximum effectiveness. It builds on worst-case imagery, for reasons that will become obvious. In a session, the therapist would ask the client to imagine that the thing they fear happening the most actually happened. However, instead of allowing the client to visualize it realistically, the therapist will guide them in visualizing it to an extreme, blown entirely out of proportion. Number 3. Disputing irrational beliefs, DIBS, handout. One of the most popular cognitive restructuring techniques is called disputing irrational beliefs, DIBs. The point of DIBs is to question yourself on some of your limiting or harmful beliefs and essentially logic them out of existence. Although this technique can be highly effective for irrational beliefs, it will not always work for your deepest or long-held beliefs. These are harder to dispute but not impossible. With that, we come to the end of the video. Hope you liked this video and can share the best part in the comment box. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.